Good morning, Patricia. How are you today? Who else is here? Someone else is here. I'm so happy to see you. So, I am, just a sec. Let's see if I can switch. There we go. There we go. Whoops. Sorry. My computer's moving a little faster than normal, which is unusual. That's for sure. So today, it's one of my favorite art printables. It's called Glass Gem Corn. And oh my gosh, if I could tell you how much I love painting this art printable, oh my goodness, for a multitude of reasons. But let's get the shameless plugs, as Lindsay says, out of the way. If you would follow, like, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And then if you would ask to join, stitch along with Ann and Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs, both Facebook groups. Okay, so I am painting away on one of the pieces of the Glass Gem Corn art printable. So you see we have this great big giant ear of glass gem corn to paint. And then I have this piece that is like for a nice A2 size, and then there's an independent piece of art that we can use in a multitude of ways. I printed this just on copy paper because I want to put this in my art journal. And so I like thin on thin. But for right now, I am painting this A2 card because I have lots of people that I need to send some Happy Mail to. So I'm using my Spectrum 11 from Beam Paints, and that is, oh my gosh, the prettiest colors. And I like this, well, the Spectrum 11 is a really nice dot card because I get to take that, I could take this with me on the road because I have a nice array of colors, and let's see. I think I want to do, so I activated this paint by putting water on top of each color, and now I'm going to come in and really work that water into the pigment and get a really nice brush full of color. So I want to barely touch right here because I have these funny little tendrils that are coming off these flowers. So I think maybe I'll just kind of overshoot it, and then oh, I have one over here too. And then come back with a paper towel and see what I can dab off, and then I can enhance it with my colored pencils. Okay, let's see. I had a second, but there we go. So I'm going to dab that off, see what I get. I have a hint of color, which is exactly what I want. So Lindy says, now that the time has changed, I can legitimately say good morning. I know. It's so crazy, isn't it? We had book club last night, and you know, I totally forgot about the time change. So I was raring to go at 5 o'clock, but I wasn't really supposed to go until 6 o'clock. It's just such a weird time, isn't it? It's always so weird. Hi, Kay Lobo. I'm so happy to see you here. So let's see. I want to do, I'm thinking, let's do some purples in the center there. And work that water into that color. And then I'm going to just paint the whole center. Wipe off the excess paint. Good morning, Vicky Dooley. Then I'm going to wet my paintbrush, come in, wet, 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 and then I want to dab off. See what I get. That's what I wanted. Okay. Digging that, digging that, digging that. Now I have to do the, so this needs to be greens, and this, I'm thinking let's do that. Nice and yellow. Good morning, Deb. So we are painting glass gem corn this morning, Deb. And I am using my, my Beam Spectrum 11. Oh, I love that. And I'm thinking, for these guys, I could do something like really bright and different. You know what I mean? So let's come in with this cherry magenta. Oh my gosh, I love the cherry magenta. So I'm just going to pull some color, and then I'm going to just put some on my craft mat. And then add a little water to it so I have a nice watery wash. Tap off on my paper towel. And then let's just start filling in the petals, these little bitty petals of these little bitty flowers. Oh, that's too much. I can feel the big bubble of paint on the end of my brush bristles. There we go. So I'm trying to do this card in a muted fall palette. But that's not to say that we can't make our colors really nice and rich and saturated by doing layers of paint and then enhancing with our colored pencils. I wanted to kind of create like a, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, now let's do that green one more time, because we want to do here, here, here. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So I want to set this aside to dry. Good morning, Nancy Labberty. I'll set that aside to dry, and now I'm going to bring in my full sheet. So I know that I want my page in my art journal, I want the corn to be kind of the star of the show. And so, oh, look what I just did. Stuck that poor paper in there. Let's see, where's my big scissor? So I'm just going to cut away the other pieces. And I can certainly trim this however I need to trim it as we go along. But for right now, I need to really think about how I want to paint this piece. So I have a couple of ideas. So I have not treated this with watercolor ground or anything. So I'm thinking I could do a couple of things. I could use these Spectrum 11s, or I have a new, whoops, just a sec. I have a new palette from Rachel Beth that I'm kind of wanting to play with, and it is called Rosey Posey. And I thought, oh, that sounds fabulous. So, look at these colors. I'm kind of just digging them. So, I think I will. Good morning, Tam. Good morning, Joni. So I'm going to just get some water on there, let that kind of soak in while we make sure that everybody has a nice drink of water, or whatever your morning drink of choice is. So for the vision I have for this page, I think I want to incorporate this piece of independent art to work to kind of coincide with the corn. So I'm just going to cut that out so it's ready to go. But I want to paint the corn first. So I'm going to take a nice drink of water. Whoops! Got ahead of myself. I think you do have this one. All the cool kids do, Tam. Okay. So I'm going to put my little drink mix. And if you don't, it's very easy to get to. Just go to fall and go to the fall category on my website. And it's glass gem corn. So I know that I want the husk, I want it to be that pretty goldeny, greeny, do you know what I'm talking about? Color. And so I'm feeling like blooming leaves. So I'm going to use my craft mat as my palette again. I think blooming leaves, if I add more water to that, I'm going to kind of get the kind of the vibe that I'm going for. I might build upon that, but for right now, I know that's what I want. Yes, happy Veterans Day to you too, Miss Vicky. So I know, I just want to get some color down. And it's okay if I overshoot it because remember I'm going to be fussy cutting this anyway. Okay. So we got one color down, right? So I want that to kind of sit there for a bit. Now let's come in with some of this blue, which is called translucent shade. So I'm going to work that water into that paint. Tap off my brush and then just start painting kernels of corn. Just randomly get some blues in there. These colors are just so gorgeous. So I'm gonna just keep randomly painting kernels of corn. And they can be light and dark and, you know. Good morning, Keels. How are you this morning? Well, have a good pickleball game. I'm telling you, this glass gem corn is so pretty. I've gotten some, like, back home. I haven't found any here, but, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like it's so, the colors are just stunning. Like I would want to grow it. It's so pretty to just experience those colors. They're so pretty. Mm-hmm. There's something about, I know this blue is so pretty, Tam. It's really quite pretty. It's almost kind of a steel blue, sort of, but in like a muted, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, and here's the thing. You could paint your glass gem corn in whatever. You can take lots of artistic license and create whatever palette you're just kind of feeling, you know? I'm going to think I'm going to turn it. You kind of see things totally differently when you turn a substrate, which is weird because it's the exact same thing that you were just painting. I like to like kind of pick one, like pick a little kernel and then kind of work around that. But that's just me. You do it in whatever way feels nice to you. Because this should all feel nice, right? Sometimes I do them together. Sometimes they're, you know, opposite. Sometimes they're, you know, just like in nature. There's no one direction that if you really look at a cob of corn, they look like those, they look like all the kernels are uniform. But if you look close, not so much. And I love that. Mm-hmm. I hope that everybody is painting their corn alongside me because I can't wait to see everybody else's colorways, like what you came up with. Do you know what I mean? That would just make me so happy. Let's do that little squishy one there. Like down here, we need some more blue. It's funny when you look at it from a different direction like this, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I see a little hole of no blue is in that aisle. They need more blue. And this isn't to say that we can't come in with more blue in the future. We certainly can. It's just kind of fun to, you know. Play around. Okay, let's move on to another. Oh, let's do one more. Sometimes I can't help myself. Okay, let's do another color. Let's move on to another color. But first, let's take a drink. I'm going to leave my cap off, so I keep drinking out of it. Make it easier on myself. Okay, let's move on to this. The red in this palette is called Soft Edged Petals. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. So let's come in, do some soft edged petals. Oh my gosh, this is making me so happy. Like, look at the juxtaposition of colors already. It's quite meditative, I have to say, to paint this way. I mean, you could do last year, or not yet last year, I think this was the 2020. I think this was a 2022 art printable. But I remember when I painted it the first time, I did it in all bright colors. I mean, that's the beauty, right? You can paint things 100 times and use 100 different palettes. I mean, that's cool, right? Didn't mean to do that one right like that, but oh well, I did it. And so I just need to commit. Let's see. Let's do one here. Here. Let's turn again. The thing I was thinking about, I was working on finishing an art journal entry from the other day in my magazine. And I was thinking about if you read the newsletter, both this week and last week, then you noticed that I put examples of both Joni and Carmen's attention to detail. And if you haven't, you can still open up those newsletters. Anyway, there's something about doing things in steps. There's something about the richness that brings to your art when you you build on a layer, right? Let's see, let's do that one now. Right, so I'm not just going to paint these, I'm also going to add some mark making. I'm also going to add some colored pencil. I'm also going to, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do so many things. Okay, let's try the deeper green this time, and it is called Saturated Stems. So let's bring that in. But I hope that you study both Carmen so Carmen was in the week before's newsletter and Joni was in last week's newsletter. Study their detail. Study how they don't just paint something, then they add something else, then they add something else. And the something else, here's the thing, does not have to be something huge, right? It can just be a little touch, a little, what do I want to say? Like a little just one more element to something, and that will add such depth to your art. Good morning, Kathy. You'll see such a difference in your art if you do that. If you just continue to take things one step beyond. Anybody remember that song? Like, I'm looking at this and I'm really feeling like I really want to stamp this with, it's on sale, and I talked about it in the newsletter last week. It's the Brown Thursday sale for Unity, and that's the time of year where, like, all of their rubber stamps are 60% off. 60% off. That's pretty huge. So I have this stamp that's kind of one of my favorites. I use it so much. It's called Good Tidings to You. It's a Christmas stamp, but in that Christmas stamp, there is a block of French text, and I'm just going to tell you, I use that stamp all the time. All the time. I add text to just give like things another layer of something cool. And so I already know I want there to be, so I will randomly stamp that French text on this corn to just grow the depth of this piece. Okay, let's see. Oh, we could do this one right here. Okay. Now I have a choice. I can just continue to color in with these three colors, or I can bring that husk color in and see what I can see. So I'm gonna do that. See what that brings me. I'm telling you, Nancy, you'll be so happy. I love that stamp so much. I use it so much. I mean, I certainly stamp the poinsettia sometimes, but that stamp, there's something about it. Because it's just the right amount of text. Like, it's small and it's typewriter font, which is my favorite because I feel like it doesn't compete with anything else. Do you know what I mean? It, let's see. It's just a nice accompaniment. So I'm liking this. I'm liking how the addition of this green is really kind of bringing it together. So I will finish with this green, and then I will come back and I will fill in some of the empty pieces with another color, which I don't know which one I'm going to do just yet. I haven't figured that out yet. But like I said, study both Carmen and Joni's pieces to really feel the vibe of that. I need to back it up, sister. I'm sticking my hand in paint. To feel the vibe of that, of those layers, because a layer doesn't have to be a thick thing. It can be something as simple as a stamp, right? And some pen work. Like, it can be so many things. We have so many things at our disposal, right? All right, let's see. Let's do one more right here. Now, do we want to do... Oh my gosh. It's making me so happy. Let's do some more of the red, of the soft edged petals. But let's do it deeper this time. Let's see what happens when we do that. Oh, that's making me so happy. I just want a really nice saturated, like almost a burgundy color. That's making me happy. Because look at the depth that just that. We've already started to get some really cool depth, right? By just the addition of that. Oh, thank you, Lindy. That's so nice. I wish I could watch you paint. It's a weird thing, I will just say. When I first started doing this, my dad said, "You're just talking to nobody." And I said, "No, I'm talking to my friends. I just have to read what they say back." It's kind of a weird phenomenon, but I love it. I love that we have this sense of community, you know? Well, happy November to you too, Miss Sherry. How is the Tucson area this morning? So good, I hope. So I will, for sure. So I have a couple more pieces to fill in. I'm going to take a drink now. But I'm going to ponder, like I want to finish my painting. Well, at least filling in the kernels. Then I want to start to kind of think about where I want to go next. I think I want to bring some of this deeper green right up here beside the ear of corn. So I get some nice form that happens there. Okay, everybody take a drink. Okay, let's see what else we got. And here's the thing, you don't have to do a deeper version of each color. You can just, do you know what I mean? It can be whatever you want. And isn't that the best? Well, thanks, Lindy. I like chatting too. And I like just, you know, that we can just talk about whatever. I slept through the morning walk, though, this morning, you guys. I kind of had some insomnia last night, and so I don't have any birds to tell you about, or funny dogs, or last night, Jeff and I, where did we go yesterday? Where did we go? Anyway, as we were coming home, remember I was telling you about the park in the newsletter? As we were coming home, I noticed there was a city worker who was getting a book out of the little library. Oh, that made my heart sing. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. That was so cool. I just loved that. All right, let's do a little bit more blue. And let's see if we can do a deeper version of that blue. See, I got deep up here, and then in the middle I kind of started to water it down. Then that's not to say that I can't come in and deepen some of the other kernels. I certainly can. Okay, is that it? Nope. One more. All right. So now I have a couple things to think about. I told you I want to come in with some of this deeper green right along the edge of where the corn and the husk meet, because I want to create a little bit of depth here. So I'm just going to come in and once, like, I'll just get a little bit of that going, and then I'll come back in with my Jiggy Jaggy blend. Wipe that off, rinse my brush, tap it off, and then let's get that Jiggy Jaggy blend going, where we just have, yes! That's exactly what I was hoping for. Don't you love when it all comes to fruition like that? When what you see in your head really happens on the paper? That's magic, right? Because sometimes it's the opposite. When I draw, I know this is a crazy thing to admit out loud, but when I draw, I like to do those sketchy lines because I feel like all those sketchy lines are kind of a invitation for more mark making, so to speak. So part of me, I know that's kind of letting you into my noggin, which is weird, but part of me, like, sometimes maybe I want like a little bit of darkness right there. Maybe I want to do some, and then I can certainly go back and soften that by just tapping it with a damp brush. Just soften the edges. But you see how, like, I still have a little bit of depth. Oh my gosh. It makes me so happy. So let's do that again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's see. Let's see this one. Right there. Oh, that one's pretty. Could do down here on the bottom. Pull some color up. Let's turn, and do this side. Like this, I feel like. Let's get a wet, let's dampen our brush again, and then let's move out here. Because I think I want, when I trim this piece of corn, I'm feeling like I want to do it quite organically before I put it on my page. I know that won't get done today, but you'll kind of see where I'm going. And then I'll show you the page. Either in the newsletter, or I'll post it on social media or something. I don't know. Anyway, I like to create those little sketchy lines because it's like this opportunity for like one more layer of something. Like right now, what's going through my mind is all of this white in between. What do I want to do with all of that white in between? Like there's a million opportunities in my head is what I'm thinking about, right? So one thing I'm thinking about is I could Yep, I just want to kind of get some. There we go. And I don't know how much of this I'll cut off. I don't know, but I want it to be, I want there to be enough, what do I want to say? Enough edge that it'll work either way. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to just add some more of this green. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take, so when I see that white, I kind of like the white, right? But I feel like it would be dark down there. It would be dark at the base of those kernels. And I can always, as my grand finale, after I stamp it and do all my doodads, I can splatter it with white, right? Or I can do some white gel pen highlights on each little kernel. But I'm going to take my 005 and I think I'm going to do some stripes in there. Yep, that's exactly, and I want them to do, I want my stripes to be all different directions. So just some line work in between the kernels. Right? That's already creating this little bit of depth and keeping my sketchy vibe alive, which is, you know, me. Let's see. Some diagonals right there. And the lines are thin enough that they kind of don't really compete with, like I'm letting enough of that white shine through that it's still lightish, but I hope that you can see. There you go. So do you see how that is just in keeping with the sketchy vibe, right? But it is also adding, number one, some cool visual interest, right? And darkening it just enough. Hi, Jennifer. That it's it looks like it's receding, right? That the kernels are coming forward, but the background, the cob is well behind it. And I think by mixing up the directions of my lines, I'm getting some cool I'm getting some really cool effects. That's making me so happy. So you just see like one more level of detail, one more. That is, oh my gosh, that is adding exactly what I want. But I want to this is the stamp set. Good tidings to you. And in here, you'll see this well-loved stamp. which is French text. So let's stamp that on so you get to see like a bunch of my mixed media kind of layers and of visual interest. So I'm inking it up pretty good, and then I'm going to just randomly add some text. Oh, that's making me happy. I think I might want to add a little bit more. Look, I just love when it just yep. That's perfect. Okay, so do you see what that added? Can you see how just that little bit of text is just adding one more level of visual interest, right? The colors I am using today, Kathy, are Rosey Posey collection from Designs by Rachel Beth. They're so pretty, aren't they? And they're so not my normal colors. Not at all. So I'm going to continue with, but I wanted to show you, hey Lise, how are you this morning? I know that, so I was I was like an hour early to book club last night. And then I looked, because I know my Tammy, she always puts a reminder. There we go. So I made it, you know, sort of on time. This little bit of line work, you guys, I'm just going to tell you, it makes me so happy. It just gives me that, I don't know, kind of, I don't know, there's something about the addition of some line work inside of an already sketchy drawing. Is it making you nervous? And I know, Tam, I know. I will scoot over because I want to use, again, I don't want to waste it, Tam. I want to paint this flower, remember, because this flower is going to be part of something. Oh, but so I'm doing some line work in between these kernels, but I'm also thinking, because look at this husk. Do you see all this gorgeousness? What if I know I'm getting close. I'm getting dangerously close, Tam. But what if I came in and did some line work up here? Just randomly, just every now and again, right? And here's a cool thing. There's typed letters. You can't waste paint. That's right, Tam. There. Do you see like the juxtaposition of the paint, the line work, and the stamped letters? It's making me so happy. Like it's going to be all all working in harmony with one another. So, and turn that substrate. Sometimes that's easier if we turn the substrate and get a different, I don't know, a different just take on it all, you know. Here we go. Oh my gosh. It's making me so happy, you guys. Now, I just thought of something else. Whew, I better take a drink. Now, I just thought of something else. The sentiment that I want to put on here is on the printable, and it's "You're corntastic." So I'm thinking I could fit that in to one of these. I could fit the word corn tastic. Look at that. I can do it up here too. I'm going to do some line work beside those letters. I think I like that. That feels a little more complete. And let's do it on this side too. Right, and let's do it down here too. I have another, well, so, you know I have a giant family. I've told you guys that many times. So I have 2 cousins who are battling cancer right now. And they happen to be a brother and a sister. And so, this card is for my boy cousin. It's for the brother. So, oh my gosh. It's just something about, making a card, like painting a piece with someone in particular in mind. Stop it, you guys. I'm loving it so much. But I'm also feeling like I might want to, I know for sure I want to splat it with, white on the top. I think let's do Corntastic one more time. because my cousin is corntastic. Oops. Oops. I don't know what I did there, you guys, but yikes. I did corntastic. Okay, now I need to do that line work right beside it. But now I feel like I need one on this side. This one, right here. And I love that it's right over that typed stamp work. That's, that's just like the most fabulous. And you see that I'm repeating the line work here and here. I'm repeating the colors here and here. There's something about the repetition of techniques that will add to the, oh, look at a big one right here. Let's think about it. Let's think about it, Anne. Think about it. What do you want to do there? Let's do straight across. And they're connected. Stop it! How am I doing? Do I have it all filled in? Well, I'm over. Big surprise, everybody. Anyway, I will continue working on this. And I hope that you will too. And I can't wait to see your ears of corn. And then remember, tomorrow is Stitch Along. So we will be, I'm behind everybody else, but, and then Thursday, we're going to be playing in our magazine art with the Patricia, with the Patricia art printable. And, oh, I have so much fun planned for that. I adore you all. Thanks so much. And I will see you soon, like tomorrow. Bye, everyone.